19th of May, 2025. Excuse me. And I've just got some things on my mind I wanted to talk about. Before I get too deep into it, I'd like to thank my buddy Wally for reminding me of a couple of things and helping me to formulate my thoughts on this. As the title might indicate, there are things that leftists, Democrats, liberals, whatever you want to call them, progressives, idiots, do and say that it just leaves me scratching my head. I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, you have to ask yourself, are these people really that stupid, or do they just hope we don't notice some of the things that they do and say? It's fascinating. Here's the latest. So RFK Jr. has recently made comments that by the end of the summer, before the end of the summer, he's hoping that through some studies he has initiated, we're going to find out what causes autism. Okay, that sounds reasonable. Why would you not want to know what causes autism? Now, seriously, autism is out there. You know what it is. You've probably seen it. You may even have some of it in your family. So the question again is, why would you not want to know what causes autism so that as we move forward, we can better combat autism, prevent autism, or maybe learn better how to treat it, or if possible, even reverse it. Think of all the medical advances that we laud, that we talk positively of, that we hope for, that we beg for. And yet there are people right now, and they're on the left, who are hollering and screaming and calling RFK all kinds of names, and how dare he, and why would he want to do this, blah, blah, blah. You can look it up. I mean, I've got a couple of examples in the description for this video, so you can look at them yourself. Or you can look up some more on your own, if you care to. And therein lies the rub, eh? Because most people, it's easier to, well, that's not what the guy on TV said. That's not what the news guy said. And they wouldn't lie to us, would they? Of course not. But, you can look this stuff up on your own. And add to that, and the two will come together. I'll help you out with that in a few minutes. Now we find out that Joe Biden has had cancer for more than a couple of years now. In fact, there's a speech or a press conference he made out there. I'm glad I just said that. I'm going to have to find that video and include it in the description as well, where he said he had cancer. Now, we all know Joe's a little off upstairs. But, his staff came out right after that and said, he misspoke. He misspoke. Have you ever known anybody who misspoke about having cancer? And before any of you lefties who might see this start on me, what do you know about it? Blah, blah. I've had two cancers, prostate and kidney. In fact, I've had a kidney removed. I won't tell you which one. I'll let you guess. So I've survived both. So I know a little something about it. But think about that. He's had it for several years now. His staff knew about it. His doctors knew about it. His wife knew about it. Even he knew about it, at least at one point for a little while. But his staff and the media, oh man, they twisted themselves into pretzels trying to keep us from finding out. Oh, he made a misstatement. He misspoke. No, he's fine. He's in perfect health. Yeah, maybe not so much. So you've got that on the one side. Then you've got RFK over here trying to find out what causes autism. Oh, and anybody else remember this? Come on, especially you liberals out there. I've got the video, a copy of it, and I've got a CNN. That's your favorite news network, isn't it? I've got a CNN news story where they talk about it. Didn't Joe Biden during the 2020 campaign promise? He was very emphatic about it, pounding his fist emphatic. We're going to cure cancer. Anybody else remember? If you don't remember, watch the video. But you do remember, don't you? You know. You just don't care because he's your guy. You're on his team. So he can lie, or he can be wrong, or he can just make shit up. And you don't care because he's your guy. And that's how party politics works, isn't it? The other party, now, if they make the slightest misstep, oh, you're all over that because you demand honesty and truth. But when your guys do it, it's no big deal. Who cares? What's the problem? So, we know that he had cancer aside from the fact that his mental faculties were failing him. We've got RFK trying to figure out where autism comes from. What causes it? Is it something in the food we eat? Is it something in the atmosphere around us? Is it something in the shots that babies get before they're even a year old? Now, I'm not a doctor, and I didn't even stay in a Holiday Inn Express last night, but I do read things. And aside from reading and watching and listening, I think. If something doesn't make sense to me, for any number of reasons, I ask questions. I dig deeper. I want to find out. What does cause autism? Where does it come from? I know people. I have friends who have autistic children. And I know it. I don't live with them, but I see what they go through when I'm with them and I'm around them and their children. I bet you they want to find out what causes it. I bet you they'd like to find some way to fight it, to reverse it, to make their kids better. If you ever meet anybody who has an autistic child, ask them, do you think it's okay if we find out what causes autism? At least if we know what causes it, we know what to avoid in the future, don't we? Wouldn't the same hold true for cancer? That's one of the other things RFK is going after. All these chemicals, these dyes that they put in the food that we eat every day have been shown to be carcinogenic. Don't you want to avoid those? If you know what those things can do, if you know that they can cause cancer, wouldn't you rather know that in advance so that you can avoid those things? I know I would. I wish I knew then what I know now. I wish I knew about childhood vaccines back then, what I know now. But let me read a little something to you here. This is from the CBC. And again, this link is going to be in the description with this video. And there's a lot to read here, but I'm just going to read a couple of things and comment on them. Can autistic people hold down jobs, pay taxes, or find love? Well, I'm sure some of them can. You might ask the same question about people who are mentally retarded. That's right. I said mentally retarded. If that bothers you, turn off the TV or turn off the computer. Just scroll on. But don't send me any posts or descriptions or comments. But oh, you can't say mentally retarded. It's mean. No, it was fine for years, decades. Then we got the woke crowd. You can't say mentally retarded. It's mean. No, it is what it is. So get over yourself. Sorry, that's my phone. Many people do, but the question we should be asking, according to waves of advocates, allies, and autistic people voicing their concerns online, is why are we defining a person's worth at all? I'm going to read that to you again because I want you to think about this. I want you to think about what it's saying, and I want you to think about who is saying it. It started out with, can autistic people hold jobs, pay taxes, or find love? Many do. But the question we should be asking, according to waves of advocates, allies, and autistic people voicing their concerns online, is why are we defining a person's worth at all? Now, I wonder if you ask these same people, the same people who made this statement or support this statement, if you were to ask them about an unborn child and what their worth is, what do you think their answer would be? Huh? You think they would have any problem with aborting that child? Do you think they'd have any problem with sucking its brains out, chopping it up into little pieces and pulling it out of the womb? They don't seem to have a problem defining a person's worth, especially if that person is unborn. But when it comes to RFK Jr. trying to find a way to stop autism, oh, how dare he? Who does he think he is? He's trying to define a person's worth. And by the way, the autistic people voicing their concerns, you do know there are different levels of autism. You do know that, right? And some people who are autistic are what we call functioning autism. They are capable of doing things and living a separate life from their parents or some caretaker. But not all autistic people are like that. So stop pretending. Stop acting so self-righteous, so outraged. You're just outraged. Righteous indignation, because how dare he offer up a definition of someone's worth? Well, that's not what he's doing, you idiots, and you know it. Stop with the find my happy place. Stop with the politics. Stop with the party loyalty when this is something that shouldn't have anything to do with a political party. Do you or do you not, in spite of whatever political party you may belong to, do you or do you not give a single shit about the health of children? At all. Any. Do you care? I know you like to say you do because it sounds good, right? Looks good on TV, reads well in the newspapers, makes you look like a great person. But do you really? I don't think you do. I think you like using it as a political tool, as a ploy to gather attention to you and your cause. Well, when it gets right down to the brass tacks, I don't think you really care at all. Now, Joe Biden, let's go back to him. He was going to cure cancer. Anybody else remember that? I remember it. As somebody who has beaten 2 cancers, I would certainly like to see a cure for cancer. I bet right now, Joe wishes he had found a cure, huh? What do you think? Do you think he cares about finding a cure for cancer now? If he didn't during his first 4 years in office, as he promised he would, why didn't he? What did he not do? What did he not authorize? What did he not allow that could have found that cure? Now, this is just me, brief aside. diverging for a brief moment, I already believe there are cures out there for cancer, whether it's natural or whether it's chemical. But you know damn good and well who is not going to let that happen. And you know exactly why they're not going to let it happen. But that's another topic for another time. So the guy who was going to cure cancer, who used that in his campaign for president, did not find a cure for cancer. At least not one that we know of yet. Maybe he'll be using it on himself and we'll find out, like, oh, miraculous. He's one of God's chosen people. Look at that. He had stage 4 prostate cancer and now it's gone. How could that have happened? And having been through that myself, not stage 4, but having had prostate cancer, which, by the way, is not unusual. Most men over 50 can look forward to getting it at some time. Yeah, intelligent design, you tell me. Anyway, why if he found a cure, why didn't he let us know? He seemed pretty confident about it. And people love that idea. When he said, I'm going to find a cure for cancer. There's going to be a cure. Everybody loved it, especially Democrats. So they loved it. You can see him when he made the speeches. They just jump up and, oh my God, I love Joe Biden. He's going to find a cure. Nobody has ever tried to find a cure for cancer, but Joe Biden's going to do it because Joe's one of us. But RFK wants to find out what causes autism. And there are people who actually are angry with him. I want you to think about that. I sincerely, genuinely want you to think about that. There are people who are angry with RFK Jr. because he is trying to find the cause of autism. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Seriously, there's something wrong with you. I don't care if it's because of your political agenda or not. If you're so stuck on your political agenda, if you have such a deranged, and that's the word, deranged hatred for Trump and anybody who's working for or with him, so much so that you're going to act like finding a cause of autism so we can fight that is a bad thing, you're sick. You got some serious mental issues. And I don't mean mentally retarded. I mean, you're just sick. If you put another person's life above your hatred for somebody else, okay, you hate Trump, fine, great. You hate Trump, you hate Elon Musk, you hate RFK Jr., you hate everybody if they're not a Democrat. But you're going to let that determine whether kids do or do not get autism? I mean, seriously, what the hell is wrong with you? So I'm going to find that video of Biden making that little speech of his, that press conference where he says he has cancer, just to add it, to close the loop on this issue. Because it just fascinates me. And in this case, it's the Democrats, but let's not pretend Republicans don't do this too. You act like we don't see you. That's it. That's it right there. You Democrats, you media people, you politicians, whoever you are, you think that we don't see you and we can't hear you and that we don't have this thing called the internet in places like YouTube or TikTok or others that have videos of you doing and saying things that you later deny you did or said. And all we have to do is search on the internet and we find it. There it is. And even then you pretend like it's not real. Oh, that didn't happen. Oh no, you made that up. That's AI. Yeah, that's it. That's a Russian plot. Yeah, that's got to be it. I mean, seriously, You have to be beyond stupid to think that we don't see this stuff. Now, maybe there aren't enough people out there getting as animated about it, as passionate about it as I am. So it's easier to dismiss it. It's easier to pretend it's not real. But there are a lot of people out there who see you. And we know what you're doing. And we know what you said. I don't even have to find the video to remember what you said. I remember Job saying he was going to cure cancer. I thought then that it was bullshit, but I know it's a campaign. You're going to say things on a campaign. But where are you now, Democrats? Those of you who stood up and cried tears of joy because Joe's going to cure cancer. Nobody else has ever tried to cure cancer before, but Joe Biden's going to do it. Where are you now? Why so quiet? He didn't cure it. I don't remember any efforts on his part to cure it. No talk about the NIH, CDC, FDA, anybody who has anything to do with researching this sort of thing. Do you remember any news stories about any of that? Can you find any? Maybe you can print that in the comments. Give me the link. Not that that's going to help your case any, because that'll just make it worse. Why didn't they find it? And you know what? I'll even concede RFK might not find the answer he's looking for. But at least he's talking about it. At least he's trying. And if you think it's not important, if you think it doesn't matter to people, then find somebody, if you already don't know someone like this, find somebody who has an autistic child. And I mean severely autistic. I mean can't even change their own clothes. And it can't even go to the bathroom on their own. I'm not talking about somebody like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. I'm not talking about, the next child prodigy when it comes to playing piano. Find somebody with a severely autistic child and ask them, would you like to know what causes autism? Do you think RFK is on the right track? Do you think it's a good idea? And if you know anybody in the news media, local or federal or nationwide, whatever, ask them. If all of this that's going on with Joe Biden, the mental decline, the cancer, was known 4-5 years ago, why didn't you tell us? Isn't that your job in the news media, to keep us informed? And if he was that bad off, especially with his mental decline, who was running the country? Because it obviously wasn't Joe. Doesn't that matter to you? I mean, you're always telling us how much the law matters to you. No one's above the law, and the rules and honesty and clarity. We have to be straight up front with people and not deceive them. Well, why is it okay when it's covering for one of your guys? See, there's a big difference between me and you, aside from just the politics. I want everybody who lies to be held accountable. I don't care if they have an R next to their name or a D or an L. I don't care who you are. Don't lie to me. I don't like liars. I don't like bullies. The fact that you obviously do, depending on what political party they're in, tells me a lot about you. And it's not good. Shame on you. You should be ashamed of yourself if you had any shame, but you don't. Because in order to have shame, you have to have a conscience. And you don't have one. And especially if it's something that might interfere with your political agenda or your political party advancing. Oh, yeah. We don't want to talk about that. That didn't happen. That's not real. That's not true. Russian plot. So AI said the Republican Party lying to us again. And for Republicans out there who do the same thing, a pox on you as well. I can't stand any of you. But right now we're talking about the Democrats because they're the ones, let's face it, since Trump won the election, Democrats have lost their freaking minds. I don't even know how else to say it. They have just lost their minds. Nothing they say makes sense. There's no logic, no reason, no critical thinking. In fact, if any of you see this video, if a liberal sees this video, you might see it on somebody else's page, whatever. What is it exactly? And don't repeat the same old asinine media talking points. What is it exactly? One thing, two, three, whatever, that you hate so much about Trump? And I ask that because I remember Trump before he ran for president, and you guys loved him. Why don't you make a list of all the Democrat candidates for various offices, local, state, federal, who went to Trump for his blessing and asked for money? Go ahead, make a list. I would love to see it because I know you're going to find a lot of your favorite Democrats on that list. And let's be honest, you didn't hate Trump until you were told to hate him. Now, you should also know that I'm not shilling for Trump. Why? I didn't vote for him any time he ran. The last 3 elections, I did not vote for Trump. I voted for the Libertarian candidates. Why? Not because they were necessarily great candidates, but because I want to make it clear to whoever is paying attention that the 2 major parties do not own me or my vote. And they're not going to get it unless they deserve it. It's no more complicated than that. Sadly, the Libertarian Party is in the same boat now. They haven't proven to me that they're worthy of my vote. So there's a lot going on, a lot to be said, a lot to look at, a lot to think about, questions to ask. But you don't want to ask questions because you might not like the answers, and the answers might conflict with your worldview, and we can't have that. And you're certainly, you are certainly not going to admit you were wrong, or that you might have made a mistake, or that one of your people is actually a liar. So here we are. We find ourselves in a situation where someone has finally said what causes autism. Not how do we treat it, what do we do to treat them after they're born and they have it. Trying to find out what causes it so moving forward we know how to stop it or how to avoid it. Now, if Joe Biden saying he is going to cure cancer sends the message to you, Mr. and Mrs. Liberal, that curing cancer is possible, we can cure cancer, and you loved it, you applauded it, you had tears of joy streaming down your face because your guy, Joe Biden, said we were going to cure it. So you accept and acknowledge that it can be cured. Somebody was talking about it. Somebody said they were going to cure it. But you laugh at, impugn, demonize, make fun of somebody who says, let's find out what causes autism. You think there's something wrong with that. The only conclusion I can come to is you're just an idiot. You are an evil, non-thinking, agenda-driven, party loyalist idiot. And I have no use for you. A pox on all of you. Excuse me. Anyway, that's it. Just more thoughts off my chest. I had to say it. I challenge you, Republican, Democrat, liberal, libertarian, whoever you are. I challenge you. Think. Use your fucking brain. Think before you speak. And even after you speak, If you say something that's demonstrably stupid, rethink it. That's all I can say right now. Enjoy your evening.